Good evening, it's Mr. Colley. Coming on to make sure everyone was able to successfully answer the questions for homework tonight and that there isn't any misunderstanding and that you could complete the answers successfully. First off, I want to thank you guys because I have about 5 parents and about 8 students that signed on. That's what we want, guys. We want as many students and as much parental involvement as we can. This is how learning is going to take place for a while. This is how school will take place. So the more exposure students and parents have to U.S. history, the better. You don't have to be in my class. You just have to be in the 11th grade that is taking U.S. history. At Mike's US will get you into the Remind. Thank you for that. Now, this afternoon I came in and went over the essay questions, so that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, now I just want to go over the 7 short answer questions to make sure that you're able to tie all the information in together. Okay, now the first question was, why did I teach World War I, World War II, and the Cold War together? Well, World War I and World War II, same enemy, okay? And basically how they ended World War I basically set the stage for World War II. The Treaty of Versailles, they forced the Germans to take full blame for World War I, pay $33 billion, and they were stripped of their military, okay? Now, a person grows up wanting revenge, hating the United States, hating the Allies, hating the way the Allies treated Germany. That person's Hitler. Then we have World War II. At the end of World War II, there's the Cold War. 2 superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, went over that. So that's why, that was the whole reason about the thematic lesson. Although it didn't happen chronologically, and that's usually how we study history, but as the regions keeps changing and as they keep putting these high order thinking questions in, you have to think analytical. You have to think big picture. So that's why my lessons now are going to be more thematic and more analytical versus following a chronological order, okay? Now, 3 ways to eliminate confusing topics. The easiest way, because World War I, World War II, Germany's the enemy. Sometimes you're confusing. You're thinking Hitler's in World War I. Here's the easiest way to do this. World War I, think of submarines. Think of U-boats. Think of Lusitania, okay? World War I, submarines. World War II, Hitler, Holocaust, Japan, Pearl Harbor. Cold War, remember why it's called Cold War. Soviet Union, United States, 2 superpowers that don't fight directly, okay? So it's an icy rivalry, a competition, okay? So after World War II, the United States and the Soviet Union compete in what's called the Cold War, okay? So that's why we taught it together. Now, what freedom were the Germans violating? Remember, no one owns the Atlantic Ocean. No one owns the Pacific Ocean. We have something called freedom of the high seas. And when the Germans were using submarines and U-boats to sink and hit with torpedoes unarmed merchant ships, they were taking away the freedom of the high seas, all right? Lusitania. The significance of Lusitania in World War I, remember, that's the British cruise ship where 128 Americans lost their lives. That basically got the momentum and the public outcry that eventually Wilson would go from neutrality to war, okay? Now, Wilson stand on war. A strict anti-war president. Just like Washington and Jefferson, okay? Anti-war. Okay, they tried to follow in Washington's footsteps, his unwritten constitution, his tradition. Wilson was elected, his platform basically saying, I want you to understand, I am going to keep America out of this war. That was his platform, okay? And when it was time, and we're going to get to the next question, how did the Zimmerman note get us into, how did we go from neutrality to now declaring that we're going to war? The Germans approached Mexico to declare war on the United States because Germany understood if America went and helped in World War I, they were going to lose. But they knew that America wasn't that equipped to fight a war on U.S. soil and Europe. So they wanted Mexico to declare war on the United States so that Germany could win World War I and then come here and help Mexico. Now, Germany is aware that the United States stole all that land from Mexico to complete Manifest Destiny. So they knew that Mexico was angry at the United States. But the problem is, it's not the 21st century. There's no Snapchat, there's no text message, no email, there's no TikTok, no Instagram, no Facebook, none of that. So the only way you could get a telegram across is a physical telegram. Well, that telegram got intercepted, the plot was exposed, and now the United States declares war. Now you have to understand something. A president declares war, Congress has to approve it. Now remember, he just got elected saying that he was going to keep America out of war. That's why America voted him in. So he had to say something and encourage that Americans bought into this and Congress bought into it. So his quote was, "We need to make America safe for democracy." That's his famous quote. You can see it on the Regents exam as a multiple choice question, okay? And Congress gives the president the power, and the United States enters World War I. Okay, now, Supreme Court cases. During national emergencies and during wartime, the government takes away or limits our rights. We're seeing it right now. We're seeing it right now. During national emergency, to keep everybody safe, we're told to stay home. Businesses are closed, professions are closed, 100% of the workforce is closed, okay? Give an example, during World War I, there was a Supreme Court case that limited rights. During World War II, okay. Now, Schneck versus the United States, two men were handing out anti-war materials. So this is the clear and present danger case. You can't say something that presents a clear and present danger. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. You can't yell bomb on a plane. Why? That would anticipate a riot. That would spark confusion and people could die. We have the First Amendment. This World War I Supreme Court case was trying to limit your First Amendment, the freedom of speech. But you have to understand something. The First Amendment comes with a responsibility. You can't bully somebody online. You can't print lies about somebody. You can't threaten somebody, okay? So we do have the First Amendment, but it comes with a responsibility that you have to understand that you can't encourage a riot, okay? So that's the World War I court case. World War II Supreme Court case, Korematsu versus United States, Japanese suing because of the Japanese-American relocation. Remember, Americans, Congress, and the president overreacted during World War I. They let emotion get in between being rational. The Japanese attacked the United States. It was a sneak attack. It was unexpected. So Americans felt that the Japanese Americans on the West Coast couldn't be trusted. They pressured Congress. Congress pressured the president, and they passed the Japanese-American relocation. Japanese Americans had to report to 10 camps. Remember, innocent people being forced to sell their homes, lose their businesses, walk away from things, sell their homes at low value. The ironic part is that some Japanese Americans were fighting and dying in World War II, and their families were being singled out here in the United States. And just so you note, there wasn't one Japanese American ever convicted of anything during this time period, okay? So Korematsu versus the United States is they sue. They sue and they say that their civil liberties are being violated because of this relocation. The Supreme Court says that the relocation was based on a military urgency, a national emergency, and not race. They said they were trying to keep the Japanese safe because they felt that Americans were going to turn on them. Okay, so a quick tip. Just remember, during wartime, there's always some type of limiting of a right. During a national emergency, there's always some type of limiting of a right. Remember, you cannot be free and safe at the same time. You have to give up some freedoms to be fully safe. To bring this into something that's going on in our everyday lives, if you go on a plane, you fly. We have the Fourth Amendment. Protects against unreasonable search and seizures. We gave that amendment up. Why? We all want to feel safe at an airport. We all want to be safe on a plane. So what does that mean? They limit that right. So anyone that agrees to go on a plane is going to be searched. Everyone. Okay? So like I said, you can't be free and safe. You can't have both. We're willing to give up freedoms so that we're all safe. Okay? I hope that clarified the lesson for today. If there's any questions, of course, I'm a message away. Do what you normally have been doing. Phone calls are going to start tomorrow. Let's not go down that road. Let's not go down that road. Okay? I don't think in 7 months we've ever had to call home. Let's not do that now because of a classroom change. Okay? Think of this as a classroom change. We'll be back. I hope sooner than later. Okay? One thing I found out, silver lining in this, so positive, I don't think anyone is going to say they don't want to be in school anymore, because all I'm getting are messages, and this is day 5 or day 7. I miss school. I miss being at school. I miss you guys. Vice versa. I love being at Lincoln. I love my job. Okay, but I think now all of us will have a different take on school, because Lincoln was more than your classes. It was more. It was a family. It was a community, and that's what we're missing. And I get it. That doesn't mean for you to shut down. That doesn't mean for you to stop being the A+ student. Guys, I only know your A+ work. So when I have students who are not doing work, some students who are not participating, it's new to me. Okay, so let's keep the momentum going. Let's keep the positive work going. I want to give Mr. Barrientos and Ms. Swanson a 0 list. I don't want to give them a list. Okay? Anybody else at Lincoln that wants to join, do that. Sign up for the YouTube. I try to do a couple videos a day. Try to keep some type of consistency and some normality to our lives. And I think if I come on and we communicate, it brings, like we're having class. All right? We're having class. Okay? That's what I try to do. I'm trying to bring 331 to your house. All right? So everybody have a great night. Enjoy it. Be well. Stay safe. And take care.